Hello, everybody. Thank you once again for being a part of Drive Conference. This is another beautiful session that we're going to be having, basically. And in this session, we have our global speaker that they're going to be speaking on a crucial topic, which is the future of tech and even creative, the global perspective. We have our beautiful ladies all the way from France that are going to be giving us the global perspective of the future of tech. These are people that are veterans in their fields, and they have some beautiful questions that some of the audience has given while registering for this conference and during this conference that they will be answering, just to give us a global perspective as regards this conversation, which is Evolve, the future of creative and tech. So I'm here in Nigeria. We're going to be hooking up down with our Paris studio where we have Buki. Buki, how you doing?
Hi, I'm well. It's good to be here.
All right,
hello,
Buki,
Nigeria.
Hello, everybody's everybody excited in the hall. I'm super sure of that.
Okay, amazing.
All right. So I'm going to be handing over to you, Buki. So, Buki, the ball is in your court. There's a lot that we are here to learn from you ladies. And thank you so much for being a part of this conference. Thank you for the amazing session you had last year. And we can't wait to hear from you. Buki, over to you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Demola. And welcome, ladies. Welcome again, Idamia and Daniela. It's good to have you here again this year. You know, we had a very interesting session last year. And as you know, people are excited. They want to learn more. And they've sent in so many questions to you, ladies. And I think you'll be able to give them this global perspective they want.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you very much for having us.
Okay, so we get the ball rolling. So the first question is that, you know, a lot of innovation has happened in tech in the last 1 year. You see, what do you think is the future of tech globally? And as tech professionals, what should we be looking out for?
So I might start here. I think we know that artificial intelligence has developed for the last years a lot, but I think with the data input of the last year, where everything went online, we are speaking about medical appointments online, online schooling, and much more online banking than before. Artificial intelligence, it has so much more information, so much more data. And for example, Daniela and I, we are working in digital marketing, and we see the impact of machine learning, what we can do with information, how we collect and use the information to target. So this is one point. And the second point also, because more people are online, we are needing faster internet. So 5G is also one of the highlights, I think, for the past year. But Daniela will fill in.
And I think that as well, we have to, like right now, the tendency and the trend will be like to figure out how are we going to integrate the digital tools to our life and like to our daily basis life. And for example, like there is big news right now, what's happening with Facebook, that they are changing completely the reality. Like this is amazing. It's not only Facebook, there is Microsoft also working on everything that is virtual reality and maybe how that could impact and bring new ways of seeing things, of seeing education, seeing health, and even just socializing. Like the idea to be connected not only on the real world but in a virtual world, and to go like enhance this experience. So I think those are like the big line trends that we are going to head. And actually, I'm really expecting what will happen, what will be the outcome of this. So we have all to keep tuned on that.
Yeah, wow, amazing. I hear intelligence, artificial intelligence, I hear automation, I hear machine learning, I hear virtual reality. You know, we have to just integrate all these things into our lives, you see. It's like, you know, I think you spoke about how you can use machine learning to target audiences for business. I'm like, that's amazing. So like based on this new innovation that you highlighted, that's machine learning, that's artificial intelligence. So what advice would you give young people who want to start their career in tech, or people who want to transition into tech, like people who want to like, you know, I want to change something, you know, tech is the new big thing. I want to go into tech. Tech is a game changer. So what advice would you give them?
The most important, and I'm sorry that I'm jumping on this one, but the most important, I think, would be to understand that the digital world and the tech world really changes and evolves constantly. So it's always moving. So the most important thing for you if you are starting this world is just to keep connected and keep updated. Like go look for knowledge. Don't stay with what you already know. Try to really evolve yourself, get new ideas, like put your head on what's happening, like really be curious on what are the new trends, what is the future, what is happening right now, what are big companies developing, like really just be updated and keep an eye on everything that's happening around you, because what you know now might actually drastically change during the 2 months that are coming later, or even, yeah, it could be like really rapidly. So
Wow.
that would be my main advice for you.
I would add also the fact that we should not be scared, like people who has not previous experience in tech world, no connection, they should not be scared to make the switch and really go into this topic, make the self-development, take the time to learn, because all the courses you do for yourself can really highlight on your next job, because more and more employers need people with tech background. So having the knowledge and developing the knowledge is really important. Also for people who don't have it at the moment, not to be scared. I think this is the main message I would pass.
Yeah. So the main idea is that we should keep learning. It's this knowledge, the quest for knowledge, and real knowledge, actually, not just learning from one place to the other. We should have something we want to learn, and then we should focus on this thing. And I think one other thing I got from Idamia is the fact that we have to be fearless. You know, we shouldn't be scared of taking challenges, of going into new things, of trying new things out. Okay. So for individuals who want to transition, you've heard the ladies, you have to be fearless and you have to learn constantly. So I have a third question for you. You know, the pandemic has changed the future of work. It's never going to be the same. And, you know, more organizations have embraced allowing staffs to work from home. You know, everyone works remotely. I think in the past year, I've worked from home and worked at the office, you see. So like as tech professionals, how do you manage this work-life balance? How do you get this work-life balance with your remote working?
I think the most important when you want to balance your work life, because right now you're bringing your work to your home, like you don't have different spaces to differentiate. So sometimes it's difficult to put a limit and like to know when is your work time and when is your life time. So I think the most important is to really be really organized and to learn to say, okay, I stop here, to know when to stop, to know when to give you a break, like that you can really take actively pauses, that you can really say, for example, I work from this time to this time, and then I'm just going to make a call to a family, to a friend, like try to focus on your private life, to do the things that you need for yourself. And also, I think that's something that's very important. Not all companies have adopted 100% home office. Some of them have kept like a few days at home and a few days at work. So I think that it's a good idea that has been really good, because you don't lose a connection with your teammates. But in case you are really 100% home office, like try to give that spaces, like the coffee break that you would take with your colleague that you are now not taking, try to take it anyway. Call her or call your colleague, put it on a camera, you put coffee on the camera, you just have like a little chat within 5 minutes. It's important to keep to socialize, like to not lose this human connection that we need, even though we are being distant. I don't know if Idamia want to add something after this.
Yes, I think also that the companies have understood that there's not one that fits for all working times from 9 to 5, like we would do it usually in the offices, but that understanding that people work differently and have different like times where they're more efficient. So for example, there are people who are working better in the evenings, in the nights, or later in the afternoons. So based on that, the goals for the jobs are more project orientated than time orientated. The goal is to have a deadline for the project, and based on that, people can work if they want. They can work in the weekends and do in the week their private life matters. So the understanding of people's free time and the understanding of the people's work time has a bit changed, which allows people to have even a better balance between work life and private life and work more efficiently. For some people, they work better 2 days for 10 hours a day instead of each day working 5 hours. It just depends really on the person. Once the person is in the topic and is motivated to work, maybe it's better not to cut the time off and finish the project that day. So really the understanding of time and project and goal oriented. So this is really like to have a project and the deadline for the project and not the time itself. So this is really amazing, I think. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think what I just understood from the both responses you girls gave is the fact that, people have to know when to stop working. They have to know if they're working 100% remotely, they have to know like, okay, yeah, I still have to have my breaks. I still have to have the coffee times, and also like we cannot deny the fact that we can work remotely has given us the chance to work at any time we want to work. We can work during the weekends, we can work at evenings. There are some people who want to just work at night. So yeah, like I totally get that, Tristan. So guys, to work, the secret is just to put yourself first, know when it's time for breaks, know when it's time to continue. Okay, so what is your advice for creative and tech professionals as we approach 2022? What advices are you going to give those people who want to come into this world in the next coming year?
We kind of take again a bit of the second question, I think, because, and I'm really going to insist on that because it's really important that you get knowledge and you share knowledge.
Yeah.
And I would say that right now with the digital world, we have been having like disadvantage moments and spaces where we can find this information, like for example, the webinars as we are doing right now. So I would say like just really keep updated, participate on everything that you might be interested in. Right now with the digital world, we have plenty of options. So if you want, like, just try new things. If you want to go for the artificial intelligence because it's interesting, then go see that webinar, go take that class. If you're maybe interested more in the virtual reality, just go for it. If you're interested on how does it affect marketing or health or maybe educational, go for CEA. Do you want to know more about CEO? Just try to go into it. There are a lot of information right now in the internet. This is space of the webinars, the fact that we are now having more and more people connected together in order to exchange this kind of knowledge, to know what's happening. That is really important. So just take advantage of all of this that the internet world is giving to you right now and go for it.
Go for it. Okay, Idamia, do you want to add something to that?
Basically, Daniela has all said that the tech world is really fast developing, and with the opportunities given since the last year, the online learning, the opportunities we have, it's so much easier to reach the information. It's just up to us to take our time. Maybe certain times, certain courses also, you have to pay for them. So maybe sometime you need not only time, but money as well, but to be motivated and to take the information, because it's really just and grab a way to get it. So yeah, that's the most important.
So 3 things: knowledge, be motivated, and go for it. Okay, so thank you very much, ladies. This has been so insightful. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for having us. And I'll go to Mr. Demola right now. Are you there with us? Hello.
Hey, thank you so much. I've been taking so much notes from this wonderful session. So very impactful. All right, so before we call it a day and get back to our host at the conference currently, I would just like to ask one question. But this question goes to Buki, and the other ladies can chip in something. So basically, we know that in the world today, as regards things returning back to normal, the vaccine has come out right now. Lockdown is being eased. People have taken first and second dose. I have been vaccinated, basically. And but we know that unlike Africa, other parts of the world are still being hit seriously by COVID, and things has not returned back to normal. For instance, in Nigeria, things has eased up a while ago, though we still maintain COVID restrictions one way or the other. So I want to ask, with the first dose, second dose, booster dose, how is it happening and going on as regards things being eased back in France, knowing fully well that France were one of those countries that were hit seriously with COVID? So Buki, can you answer that question, please?
Yeah, talking about COVID, actually, to be fully sincere, I don't think there's going to be a normal anymore. You see, for us in France, there hasn't been normal, because right now our lives are with the masks, with our vaccine passports. For us to go out, we have to either have our mask or our vaccine passport.
So there's a vaccine passport, really?
Yeah. Like, the other day I was just going to McDonald's, just McDonald's, and to go into McDonald's, you have to have the vaccine passport. It's actually been controlled, so this is being controlled. And so I don't really think there's going to be a normal anymore. And also, we've also seen that the first and the second dose, that's not what is actually stopping this virus from spreading, because even with the first and the second dose, we still have increase in cases. So it's actually to find something more efficient. Even though they make it compulsory, it's like a big step. This is compulsory for everybody. We have to do it, but then it's not getting back to normal. We still have to take precautions. We still have to take preventive measures. We still have to wear our masks when we're in one-on-one conferences with people. When we're in a room with someone, we have to wear our masks. When you're going to taking the bus, for example, you have to wear your mask. We cannot do without that. And even I think on the 11th of November, if I'm not mistaken, the president addressed the nation. And when he addressed the nation, he actually made the booster vaccine compulsory for people older than 65 years old. And without this, it means even if they had a vaccine passport previously, the vaccine passport will be annulled because they had to have this booster to make it. And this is just going to happen for the people who are more than 65. But we know, like in the next 6 months, it's going to be compulsory for even people who are younger. So like for us in France, I don't think there's going to be a normal. I don't think the normal is soon. But then life is catching up back. Things are trying to come back to normal. We can go out. We can go to cinemas. We're not locked down anymore. And actually, we are optimistic about what the future will bring. I don't know if Daniela or Idamia wants to add something to this.
I think
No, it's true. I have said it all, I think. Sorry, you wanted to add the fact that, and just a big quick remark is just that the fact that right now things are still opening up, like the people are no longer wanting to be confined and to just stay at home, and like people are right now looking a lot of social connections and a way to connect with others. So right now we are still opening. There is the bars, there are the cultural events that are coming back. There is life, and you can feel it outside when you go outside. That people are right now trying to live the best of their lives.
Yeah, that's true.
And sorry that I just cut you.
No worries. I just want to say that there's a huge difference between the last year, definitely.
Yeah, obviously.
But the fact that we have gotten vaccines, so for example, I have my family living in Israel and they have had the third vaccine and so on. We still see cases appearing, like people who have been vaccinated still get sick. Maybe it's one of the reasons, it's the lack of discipline for people who have been sick and who are spreading. So maybe this can be also one of the reasons here in Europe why we cannot get rid of it, which is a bit sad, because I think really if we would keep all the measurements, we could get over it much faster. But really to understand that the vaccine has helped a lot, but it's not totally the solution for traveling. Like Buki was saying, we need to have the vaccine passports. We need to often show also negative PCR tests that we don't have COVID. So it's not that easy. Maybe certain governments, when they said that the PCR test has to be, that you have to pay for it and that the government doesn't cover it, that has increased in growth in cases like for Germany, and the government has changed their policies for now to make it again for free, because otherwise we cannot find a solution and fix it.
Yeah.
All right, beautiful. Thank you so much for giving us this global perspective to things, because, sometimes in Africa, we could be so much confided with how things are going on here that we don't know how things are going on in the world. And the world is fast becoming a global village, especially with this remote work. Basically, we have a lot of Nigerian tech professionals that are beginning to get work in France and America and other parts of the world, basically. So thank you so much, ladies, for giving us this global perspective. Your session has been very, very, very impactful. We cannot but say thank you once again. Daniela, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Idamia, thank you so much. Buki, and definitely, just to give you a heads up, please, we're going to be having you next year again. So we're booking you down for 2022. And I'm sure all of the audience are saying, yay! All right. So any other questions that basically are going to be asked by our audience, we're going to be sending you via email. And I promise every audience that is listening to us right now will be they'll be answering you personally. So don't worry. Any other questions you have for the ladies right now, just send it by mail to admin@drivehub.ng, and I promise you that those emails are going to be forwarded to them and it's going to be answered right away. I say again, admin@drivehub.ng. Thank you so much once again for your time. Thank you so much once again for creating time to impact people. And we cannot but just say, well, thank you. And everybody in the audience is saying a big thank you. Thank you so much. So we're going to be returning back to the hosts once again. So from the ladies from the Paris studio, they're saying bye for now, and
Bye.
you have a wonderful remaining of a wonderful sessions of other speakers. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.